and freeze, as is the tradition. I'm looking a bit dark here. Let me just sort that out a second. Let's just sort out this lighting in here. There we go. That's a little better, isn't it? How's everyone doing? It's Friday. We've survived another week. You get through the Monday hangover and then the drudgery that is Tuesday, then it's hump day, middle of the week. That's the day we get our bins emptied. So I always know that by the time the bins are empty, we're on the downhill slope. And after Wednesday, it's Thursday or Friday Eve, as we call it in this house. And then we're all here once again. Just getting into the swing of things, I see there's 112 souls on board at this point in the live stream. I did just get a little notification saying that my internet connection is unstable. So we'll see how we go. It's not unstable; it's absolutely fine. But the technology sometimes thinks there's a problem when there isn't. I have had a little bit of a technological kind of mishap this week, and we'll cover that as we get into the stream. But first things first, it's not called the Friday Beer Stream for nothing. In case anyone's interested, Carlsberg Export this week. I've been off the Heineken for a few weeks, mainly because Morrison's haven't had any on the shelves. So, just getting what I can get my hands on. Let's see who's teacher's pet and who was first in this week. Scrolling up to the top of the chat there. I see it's PFY Guitars. Made it in this week, and then Rent to Kill was. I see you both posted at 2:52 p.m. So you must have been within a whisker of each other. So PFY Guitars, Rent to Kill, Terry Day. There's Rob Bald, and we got Johnny Random. We got Timbo. We got. Scrolling down, I can see we've got Grandpa Joe, as usual, wishing us greetings from New York City, wishing us all a happy Friday. The weekend starts off fine, being here with John, and we're all here today. Well, nice of you to say so, Grandpa Joe. Thank you so much. Then there's Peter Collins, Sean House. Peter Nicholson is in, so's Fiend Tunes, Mark Kerno, Craig Stamen, Dr. Gomez, One Rubbish Guitar Bloke, John Mack, Edwin Toonan is there, so is Ben Allmark, John Ross, Wrexham Matic, Graham Reeves, and we got David James, we got Chris Otterwell, we got Danny Hancock, there's Dave Fiendish, Ian Clark, Brad Dowell, Peter S., Paul Trainer BSC, and David Evans. There's 60s Man Cylon Hybrid, Bill Mumbo, and Joe McMurray. Then Carl Tom, how are you, mate? Let's have a look. Guitar Bass Dude, you're in as well. So is Deco Dude, Jimmy James, and then Savvy64. Anton is in, so is Johnny H, Robert Galbraith, and Stuart Young. There's Mickey Walnuts. What are you saying there, mate? Made it live for the first time in several weeks, courtesy being in bed with man flu. We'll be back shortly, just etching the... I think must be catching the end of Formula One qualifying. Save me a seat. Well, you're always welcome here, mate. Sorry to hear about your man flu. I prescribe Dr. Bell's Magical Highland Elixir. Always works for me. Then who else we got? We got Nathan, Mr. Chris 5254, Dave Snack Stevens is heading back to Dorset from being in the Big Smoke all week. So likely bugger all signal, but I do have an M&S G&T for two, keep me company. Well, good for you, mate. Then there's Calby in the Rocco Cat, Vincent Brennan, and we got Russell Gibson, John Channing, David Mitchell, David Cairns, Marvellous Bloke, and Malcolm Thompson. There's Gary Shaw, nice to see you, mate. Cal Texper is in, so's James Hunt. Did I see you already? I can't remember, but there you are now. There's Martin Bix. Michael Purcell is in, so is Les Roper, Thomas Mulvaney, and R. White is in. Any relation to the lemonade? Remember the White's lemonade ads? Then we've got Jonah Cornish, Ian Rouse, Pablo Hank. We got Randy Upchurch and Graham Campbell and Dan Bernstein. Nice to see you, mate. Long time no see. There's Frank Bolam, and who else we got? We got MG. We've got Sometimes Dim Never Thin, and yes, Rob Ball, Crackerjack. You have to be from Britain and of a certain vintage to remember that one, don't you? Then we've got Colin Falcon and Johnny Love. Peter Goddard is in, so is Steve Echo's guitar. And let's have a wee look down, see who else we've got, if I've missed anybody. Ike Busser, Ollie M, Ian Mason, Midman74, Jay Aoyong, there you are, mate. Stephen Hedger is in, Jim Brennan, James Falconer, Mississippi Blues is in, and so is Ravi. And I think that's pretty much everyone. If I've missed you, I do apologise. I do try and keep it as brief as possible, the roll call. I did think about ditching it at one point because some people were saying I was going on too long, but the overwhelming consensus was no, we'll keep it, but just kind of get through it a bit quicker. So that's me trying to do that. And there we go. Yes, fair bit to tell you about tonight. A new business venture I'm going into, possibly going into, kind of a new product in the John Robson Guitar Tuition range of tuition products, which I'll be telling you all about. And the possibility of another Red Carmageddon gathering. I just want to kind of test the water on that one, but we'll get round to that in due course. First of all, as is the custom and tradition in this parish, let me just tell you, because I've got it written down here, what is coming up on the channel this week. Sunday, no surprise, because I think I said it in yesterday's video, is the full review of this rather wonderful instrument, the modded Jet JT350. You can always tell when a guitar is going to be a keeper because it gets a name, and this guitar now, the official moniker of this guitar is Brownie, because it's brown. Yeah, that's that's about the limit of my linguistic creativity, I'm afraid. So Sunday's video is the full review of that guitar in a mix, all the usual kind of things that I do on there. I bet people can probably recite the video, by the time even before it comes on, in the same way as I can recite the opening lines to the wonderful 70s sitcom Porridge starring Ronnie Barker. Let me see if I can do it. No, I won't bother with that. But yeah, so you know what to expect in those videos. You'll hear the guitar in a mix, and then I'll tell you why I like the guitar so much. So that's what's coming up on Sunday. Then on Monday, a guitar solo from a song that I was sort of reasonably familiar with, but you know one of those songs that you kind of know, you can kind of hum the chorus, and you've got an idea of how it goes, but you've never really listened to it properly, or it's been a while. Well, that is Monday's solo, and I can't think of any cryptic clues to give you, so I'm just going to tell you it straight out. It is the solo from Eddie Money's 2 Tickets to Paradise. Fantastic solo. And that takes us on to Tuesday's video, because Tuesday it's a top 5 video, because that is what I do on a Tuesday. And this is a video that I thought I'd probably done, because I thought I must have done that video. I must have done this top 5 list, but searching through my channel, I don't think I have. Jeffrey Page is saying you can't use Brownie. Mr. Clapton already has. Well, he can sue me. Or Brownie McBrownface. David Ray saying, hope you're well, John. Thank you so much, mate. Hash Brownie, says Ian Clark. It's only about as brown as the Nashville. Yeah, it is. It's there could be siblings, couldn't there? There's the Nashville back there, and there's the Jet. I've been playing that Nashville Telecaster a lot more of late because, I'm a bit bored of talking about it, actually, but this kind of little thing here, my finger mishap, after a month off from playing, it was over a month actually, came back to some of my guitars, and they just weren't as comfortable as I remembered them. Maybe I've had to change the angle that my hand goes onto the neck at. Well, I think I definitely have. But, certain guitars that were massively comfortable just weren't as welcoming anymore. And that's the topic of an upcoming video as well in a few weeks' time. But yes, Anyway, where was I? Yes, Tuesday's video, outro solos, 5 epic outro solos. The kind of fantastic solo where the guitar player just gets to kind of cut loose at the end of a song. They don't have a time limit imposed on them. They haven't got like 8 or 16 bars in the middle of the song to kind of fit in everything that they want to do. They can just kind of go for it. So these fantastic solos that tend to occur on the fade out of a song or something like that, or just at the end of a song, that's what we're talking about on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, okay, there should be a klaxon going off now because, with a big red light coming on saying theory alert, because that's what we're talking about on Wednesday. I did a few weeks ago that video with my good pal Edwin, who's sold me a couple of guitars in the past, and he had my Sire S7, and of course he's the chap that I got the blue guitar amp 1 from. Well, you remember the video I did with him? It was pretty heavy going, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It was all about kind of melodic minor scales and the modes of the melodic minor scale and all that kind of stuff and jazz theory. Well, it's this is basically the non-astrophysics version of that video coming up on Wednesday, where I basically try and demystify, for anybody who's interested. It's a music theory video and it's about jazz, so it'll probably get like half a dozen views or something. But I like to do these kind of videos anyway. So because I'm a bit of a secret jazz fan, which is it is a Marmite form of music, but that's what Wednesday's video is about anyway. And then on Thursday, we're back to the Jet guitar again. You're going to see the some footage from the Agrajag workshop where this guitar is getting the mods done. And the work that went into what happened to that guitar is absolutely astounding. And, it's my respect for the luthiery skills of Agrajag guitars has just having seen the work that James put into it. And it's also made me think, well, I was going to have a go at doing a refret myself. And then I saw actually, how to do it properly. And I thought, that's not a skill set I have, so I'm not going to be doing it. Anyway, so that's Thursday's video. And then after Thursday, well, we're all back here again, having a beer and, kind of chilling out because it's Friday. I've been blethering a while there, so let's see what I've missed in the chat. There's Gordo Canuck in. Craig Stamen going, nothing wrong with a bit of jazz and theory. Everybody says that, Craig. Everyone says that. And then I put a video out like that, and it's like, it's the old joke, isn't it? What's the difference between jazz and rock? Rock is a guy playing 3 chords to 1,000 people. Jazz is a guy playing 1,000 chords to 3 people. Oh, I see it. There's a super chat in there. Edwin Toonan, you are a gentleman, sir. Thank you so much. 1 viewer guaranteed on Wednesday. Well, thank you, Edwin. As long as I'm pleasing 1 person, then I'm doing all right. What we saying? Guitar bass dude, what you saying there, mate? A punk rock Friday with focus on obscure punk bands. That's not really my area of expertise. It's something I should really rope Johnny in from Budget Guitar Show to talk about, really, shouldn't I? And by the way, I just want to say a massive thank you to Johnny for taking part in the video that went out on Wednesday, where we were doing, some entry-level lead guitar work. He's a great guy, is Johnny, and he's, if all of my students were like him, then, all my students are fantastic, but it was just nice to kind of have a little bit of a chat with a mate who's, and also kind of convey some useful information. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who left very, very positive comments on that video. It was a great fun video to do, and as I say, massive thanks to everybody, especially to Johnny, for taking part. Rob Bald, yes. Clark Kent, just been watching the third in police interview with Rick Beato. I saw that earlier today. Yes, I'd never heard. Oh, sorry, Timbo. Crass anti-system dysphoria would be cool. Yeah, it was a great interview. Sorry, I'm clicking on things here and not really seeing what I'm clicking on. But yeah, that was a great interview with Stuart Copeland, and I had no memory of that Clark Kent band at all. So I did what probably everybody did, which was to head off or pause the video, head off over to open another tab, basically, and open up YouTube in another tab and Google and search for the Clark Kent. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Michael Purcell is saying, should you retire top five for a while? It's what I would put in its place, though. It's I have basically the top five videos are essentially me spouting opinions on what I like, and opinions are not something I have a shortage of. And they always seem, the top five videos, they're maybe not the top performing videos that I put out. Anything with the word unboxing in it I just know absolutely, that's basically made my wages that week if I put an unboxing video up. The lesson kind of videos, the solo analysis, they tend to be usually towards the bottom end of the curve. And Top 5 Tuesday videos, they tend to be sort of somewhere in the middle of the league table, really. So, they're earning their keep. So I'm not going to retire them. I enjoy doing them, and it's also production schedule as well. I put out. I suppose a lot of videos compared to other channels. I do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a Sunday video, and the live stream on a Friday, which we're doing now. And some of the videos have a lot of work that gets put into them. But the Top 5 Tuesday videos, it's me talking to a webcam for 15 minutes, which usually takes about 15 minutes to make. So, that's an easy. Most of my guitar lessons that I do are sort of like with my students are 40 to 60 minutes long. So if I get out of a lesson early enough, I can just kind of sit and do a talk to a webcam for 15 minutes and crack off a Top 5 Tuesday video. So that they're very, very easy to make, and they seem to perform reasonably well. So I'm going to keep on doing them. Let's have a look, see what's going on later down in the chat. A lot of people saying, why retire the top five? Love the top five. Yeah, I love doing them because, as I say, it's that kind of thing. I think it comes from when you were a kid. Certainly, people like me who grew up in the 70s, we remember playing top trumps. And it's just perhaps it's a boy thing, I don't know, but we like kind of doing these kind of lists of ranking things in certain orders. It's something that I enjoy doing, top five albums in this genre, or, guitars in that style or whatever. And it's sometimes I have a hard time thinking about what video I'm going to do. Like when I started doing the solo analysis videos, which was kind of years ago, really. It was obvious, and all of my favourite solos, but I've done them all now. Do you know what I mean? I've done pretty much all of the kind of the solos that are from my favourite songs. So sometimes I have to kind of think, what solo am I going to play this week, or put in that particular slot? And I always manage to come up with something. But the top five videos, I never have to struggle to think of a topic to cover in those. Excuse me. J.L. Young saying, miss playing top trumps in my time. They came in the form of playing cards. Yeah, I remember them like that. And, it was just, you'd find yourself studying the pack, wouldn't you? Get ready for the flake, everyone. You'd find yourself studying the pack so that you could win. Basically, you'd study the top trumps pack more than you would study your bloody schoolwork. That's not bad. It's not bad. It all fit in the glass. It is a little bit on the energetic side. Ollie M is saying, what am I drinking tonight? Already told you, mate. Carlsberg Export. And got a few. Morrison's still have this offer on where it's one slab for £13, 2 slabs for 17, or 3 slabs for £23. So it just makes sense to buy 3 slabs, doesn't it? Let's have a look, see what else is going on in the chat before I talk about the next thing I want to talk about. Oh, there's Steve Cassidy. You must be on the train, are you, mate? Steve's off down to the Birmingham Guitar Show. I did toy with the idea of going myself, but it would have meant cancelling like 2 very kind of busy days of lesson income, which I just couldn't really, January was tax bill month and all of that. So, I've got to kind of restock the coffers a little bit. Top 5 curries. Lists tend to do well on YouTube. They do. Top 5 easy blues for idiots. Well, I'd be well qualified for that one, wouldn't I? Michael Purcell is saying, suggestion for new top 5, maybe. What's that, mate? You've said you have a suggestion, but you didn't put it in your comment. Hits out is saying, John, did you ever play working men's clubs that used a traffic light system when you ran along extension cord from the dressing room to beat them? Yes. If memory serves me correctly, I think it was, I can't remember whether it was a social club or working men's club, but it was the one in Norton near Stockton, which many people will know here. If you got too loud, they would cut the power. So, and it was just a known thing on the cut the power to the stage, so it was just a known thing on the circuit round here. Don't use the outlets on stage. Run a big long extension lead from like the builder's extension lead, the one that uncoils, that unrolls. Get a couple of those plugged in the dressing room, and the circuit breaker didn't affect the power in the dressing room. Not because we were desperate to play loud, but it's because if you're playing with like a valve or tube amp and stuff, and suddenly the power goes out, that can, it can cause, kind of harm to your equipment, and and the keyboard player in the band as well. This is. I'll tell you how long ago this was. The keyboard player used to have to load the set's worth of information onto his sequencer or whatever it was that he was using from a cassette. Do you remember when tape cassettes used to be used for data storage? And if he got a power outage, then that was all of the kind of data gone. So yes, we used to do that, mate. So let's have a look. Oh, Pablo Hanks off to the Birmingham Guitar Show. Stephen Hedger. Has anyone ever been disappointed with a guitar that failed to live up to almost universal praise? I'm going to put my hands up and say, yes, I have. The PRS Vela guitar. I looked at that guitar and I thought, that is just a lovely looking thing, and nice kind of vintage humbucker at the bridge, and a sort of a fat P90-ish single coil at the neck. That's going to be fantastic. And it was just really, really thin and scratchy and not particularly nice sounding at all. I tried plugging it into the Marshall DSL-1, which lives and breathes again, I must tell you. The Marshall DSL-1, it's been on the naughty step for over a year now, but I plugged it in the other day, and I thought, let's see if this is still broken, and it just fired up absolutely fantastic. I've done nothing I changed one valve in it. Okay, that was it, just the preamp valve, and it's absolutely fine. That kind of nasty kind of main sum that was just overpowering everything, gone. So maybe I'll kind of dig out the mic and get that mic'd up. It might be an interesting comparison to do between the DSL-1 and the Blue Guitar amp. I love that Blue Guitar amp, I really do. Anyway, yes, I have things to talk about, and I'm getting distracted. Red Carmageddon was in October last year, and I'm sure you know what it was. But it was, if you don't, it was basically a bunch of loyal viewers made the trek up to Redcar for an evening of beer, conversation, and curry. And it was a massive, massive success. We all had a fantastic time, and it has been suggested to me that we should do it again this year. I'm on the fence about it, not because I didn't enjoy it. It's just I don't want to be kind of being a bit needy and saying like everybody has to come to me and have a night out with me, travel and book a hotel and book an Airbnb and come and see me, but if enough people are up for it, then I will do it. I'm probably going to be looking at late summer, possibly August, avoiding the bank holiday, obviously, because the traffic will be ridiculous. But if enough people are up for coming up to Redcar for an evening of conversation, beer and curry, then I will, I'll organise it as much organising as it takes, just kind of book a table at the curry house. If you're interested, I'll probably miss it if you put it in the chat. But if you're interested, jrguitartuition@gmail.com. jrguitartuition@gmail.com, or you can check out my newfangled website at johnrobsonmusic.co.uk, where there is a plethora of email forms you can use to get in touch. Ping me some emails, and if it gets to like a critical mass of 20 or so names, then I know that's probably going to mean about a dozen people will actually turn up, and we'll make it happen. So there you go. Anyway, excuse me, let's have another the Yorkshireman is worried about too many going to put money behind the bar. I will be doing that. I think last time everybody was in the pub. Everybody was kind of content to to kind of get their own beers. So what I did was, I just paid the restaurant bill. But there will be some gesture of appreciation of that nature from me to whoever and turns up and wants to come and have a beer and a chat in real life. And I can talk about stuff that I can't really talk about on YouTube. The demise of a certain guitar that I used to play quite a lot on the channel was one that the people who were at the last Red Carmageddon know the full story of, but I can't really talk about it on here, so I'm not going to. But anyway, so it's just a nice little kind of nice get together of kind of people with a shared enthusiasm for guitar and music and beer and conversation. Anyway, I was watching a Rick Beato video the other day, as you do, and Rick was he had a sale on. You know how he always, in all of his videos, he's always plugging his Beato book and his perfect pitch course and his ear training course and all that kind of stuff. And he always puts bundles out there where you can get like a discount for everything that is that he offers. And I thought, well, that's a bloody good idea. I should do the same. So that's what I'm going to do. If, for instance, you were to have a guitar lesson off me every 2 weeks at my standard lesson rate of £19 per lesson, And if you were to have a year's worth of lessons every 2 weeks, that comes to £494. We'll call it 500 quid because it's round figures, right? So how about this? I'm going to be launching this in the next few days, next week or so. What do you think of this idea? 500 quid gets you a year's worth of guitar lessons every 2 weeks, basically 26 guitar lessons on Zoom with me, one-to-one, and, you know, we have a lesson and there's 26 of them. As I said earlier, each lesson is 40 to 60 minutes long. In addition to that, you get a copy of my book, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist. You also will get a copy of my next book, which I'm kind of well on the way with at the moment. It's going to be called The Blues Guitar Bible, and it tells you, the title tells you exactly what it is. And you also get every one of my courses from Udemy. You won't be getting them on Udemy. You'll be getting like the raw video files and MP3s and tabs and all the stuff that you would get on Udemy, but not actually on the Udemy platform. And there's slide guitar course, there's a basic entry-level lead guitar course, there's a David Gilmour based course, there's a course on advanced pentatonic usage. What else is there? There's a beginner's course. I think there's 6 of them. I forget what they are now. But you get all of the courses. You get 26 guitar lessons. You get a copy of my book, and you get a copy of the new book when it comes out, and that is 500 quid. Because there are only so many hours in a day and kind of lesson slots available in my calendar, it will be a limited offer. I'm probably going to limit this to a number of I can't work 25 hours in a 24-hour day. Do you know what I'm saying? So it will not be an offer that is open-ended, but it will be going up in the next few days. I just need to kind of get the bundle put together and find a platform to sell it on and generate links and do all that sort of stuff. So, that will be coming in due course if people are interested. As I say, it's you're getting for what you pay for a year's worth of lessons, you're getting all the other stuff thrown in as well. Let's have a wee look in the chat. And the topic that cropped up last week on the stream is, I just mentioned this as well, that we need a name for this happy band of brothers and sisters who assemble every Friday night. And I said I was going to put up a YouTube poll with the suggestions that were given in last week's stream, and I've got some here: the beer strummers, the gurgle twanglers, the golden painters, rusty Robsons, fabulous fret fumblers, the flakes, old guys, old guitars, the knobs, the baldies, and the old git arse. Those are some of the suggestions that came up last week. I was going to put up a poll on the community section, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't was because I sauntered into here, into my little workplace here, at an ungodly hour on Saturday morning to, start kind of getting ready for the day's lessons, and turned on the PC that was sat there. That's my main kind of workhorse PC. That's the one that I do all the video editing. I do all the kind of Audacity recording. You see that kind of screen there in all the stuff when I'm playing. You'll see kind of Reaper running on there. Right. Anyway, basically, I turned up in here last Saturday morning, switched it on, and it was, to quote Monty Python, it had shuffled off this mortal coil and gone to join the choir invisible. It was dead. It had it. You may have noticed on a few videos of late that there's been like a kind of strange crickety kind of chirping noise going on in the background that I've tried to remove in post with noise reduction and everything, but it still crept through a little bit. What that noise was the processor fan on that PC. And I've been aware of it for a while, but I think, well, yeah, it's still working. It's fine. I'll just soldier on anyway. Turns out that essentially the processor had overheated and cooked, so that PC is dead as a, well, Sam Jackson saying Pulp Fiction, deader than fried chicken. It's gone. So I've had to order a replacement that's in one of the plethora of boxes that you can see on the couch behind me, but I haven't got it set up yet. So last Saturday and whatever, it was like frantically downloading software onto this machine so I could still keep making videos and making content. And this machine really is struggling under the load. It has to be said. This is just a little reconditioned laptop that I use for doing Zoom calls and web browsing and this live stream. So it's not really up to the task. So yeah, that's basically what I'm saying is I forgot. Let's have a look. Otto Flick is saying, do you know anyone who does good fret level work in Redcar? Once upon a time, mate, I would have said yes. The late, great Jim Cairns, he was an absolute master craftsman when it came to not just kind of guitar maintenance, but guitar building. What I would say now is it's not in Redcar, but it's not far away from Redcar, Agra Jag Guitars in Middlesbrough. They're just near the Riverside Stadium, Dockside Road. Go and check them out. James, the bloke, the head honcho there, is an absolutely delightful guy. He's not happy until the customer's happy. And, I'm very, very, very happy with the work that he's done on my Jet guitar. So if you're looking for, any kind of guitar work being done in this area, go and check him out. Jimmy James is saying, replace the processor, easy. For somebody with a necessary skill set, it probably is easy. Trouble is, I don't have the necessary skill set. I trained in this stuff as well. I trained in electronics back in the 80s. So the thing is, I haven't kept current with it. I kind of recoil when I have to do a bit of soldering nowadays, to be honest with you. So, it is what it is. And anyway, I pulled the trigger on a new piece. Well, not a new piece, a refurbished PC, which is what I do these days. I used to do that kind of thing of buying the motherboard and buying the hard drive and buying all the bits and pieces and the case and everything and building a PC. But it's just it's not worth it nowadays. I'll buy a refurbished machine and kind of ride it till the wheels fall off, and then just buy another one for a couple of £100. I mean, the book that I'm writing now, the Blues Guitar Bible, and the previous one, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, both of those books were written on a second-hand Chromebook that I bought for £70. So it's not worth the hassle of. They're basically disposable items, is what I'm saying. Let's have a look, see what else is going on. Fattercasters, and as a name, Friday Fretmasters. I like Peter Goddard saying I like Fattercasters. I'm on board with that as well. Let me put that on the list. I will get a poll put up this week. Let's put Fattercasters on there. There we go. It's on the list. That's going on the poll. Rent-A-Kill saying, how's the lovely Dougal? He's fine. He's what's he been up to today? Well, apart from breaking wind, which is a favourite pastime of his, he just likes to kind of curl up on the sofa next to you, drop his guts, and then walk away and leave you with it. He's done that a few times with me today, but yeah, he's fine. He's Friday's the nearest thing I get to a day off. I've been downstairs working on the book today, as I say, on the cheap little Chromebook, and I'm typing with one hand and throwing his ball down the hallway with the other hand, and keeping him amused. And then he gets to the point where he's had enough, and he just curls up and has a bit of a sleep. David Evans is saying, John, did you see my message about chat with Steve Hoggart? I didn't. Let me scroll back up the chat, mate, and we will have a look for it. Auto Flick, it's Agrajag guitars. David Evans is saying, build your own PC. I used to do that, mate. Let's have a look. David Evans is saying, John was chatting with Steve Hoggart the other day to get his take, as he knows his stuff about latest idea using guitar plugins, i.e. turn audio interface gain down to 0. Okay. Well, I don't have my audio interface gain turned down to 0 because if I did, I wouldn't get any signal out of it. The Beera Clock Band. Silent Hybrid saying, John, that jet looks great, but sound, I and many others listen through our own devices. John, that jet looks great, but sound, I and many others listen through our own devices, I think you mean, not devices. I and many others want your advice. We got phones, tablets, etc. I'm not sure what you're saying, mate. We start off talking about the jet guitar, then it's about what device you listen through, and you want advice. I'm not entirely sure what you're saying, mate. Johnny Random is saying, rip the hard drive out of your broken PC and put in your new one, have all your files on it. I don't really need to do that, mate, because everything is all just, I've got like the super duper Dropbox account, where the one that you pay a fortune for every year, and literally everything that I need is backed up on there. It's the problem I had this weekend was like my video editing software, for example. I've installed it on this PC. I've got a license key for it, but I downloaded it. I thought, well, I'll put it on this PC temporarily. I'll use the license key that I've got. And it told me, sorry, this license key is for an older version of the software. It's not valid for this new download that you've got. So it was like, well, okay, well, where can I find the download of the version that I actually own? And I couldn't. So, yeah, for things like that, when I get the new PC up and running, I might just do that. The only problem I've got, I suppose, is that doing that would invalidate the warranty on the new PC that I bought. Silent Hybrid saying, we want you true advice, we not in your room. I think I get what you're saying, mate. As opposed to as regarding the jet guitar, I'm recording it in this room, and it's not, and you're not listening to it on the same kind of platform that I'm listening to it on. Well, I mean, I'm listening on a set of PreSonus Eris monitors, studio monitors, which have a flat response. They are studio monitors. That's what they're meant to do. All I would say is, don't listen on your phone speaker, or anything that is that's not designed to give a true representation of the sound. Usually all the pieces of music, because what I do obviously is I kind of record the guitar, on what was that PC, and do that in Reaper, and then mix it, and then I'll listen to it on the studio monitors. Then I'll take that mix and it's in Dropbox, so it's available on my phone, and I'll put my earbuds in and listen to it on that, and I'll kind of maybe cast it down to the TV downstairs and listen to it through the TV speakers. And it's about getting that balance where everything sounds right on on all platforms. But usually what I find is that when I listen to it on the studio monitors, if I get it sounding good on that, then it's pretty much going to sound, nothing's going to be out of kilter when I listen to it on any other kind of device or whatever. So just the only advice is not what to listen to it on. Just listen to it on. Just don't listen to it on your phone speaker or your tablet speaker or something like that, because just those tinny little cheap speakers that are in a device like this are never going to give you an accurate kind of sound. And then of course it hits YouTube, and the YouTube compression kind of kicks in, but that's a level playing field that affects everybody. Dr. Gomez 1 is saying, just buy a couple of 1 terabyte hard drives you can just plug into any new PC. Yeah, I could do, but those 1 terabyte hard drives wouldn't be the old hard drive from the old machine. And as I say, literally when I set that machine up, I've got a pretty free day on Tuesday. When I set that machine up on Tuesday, what I'm going to do is I've got to download Reaper, got a license key for that. I've now got a new license key for my video software, which was 50 quid, which I didn't intend spending, but I did. So it's Reaper and VideoPad, and I've got to install Audacity on it. And that's pretty much all I use on that machine. Everything else, all my files and everything, all the important stuff, it's all just, archived up on Dropbox. So I've not lost anything. Martin Scholes is saying, no surprise that the Marshall has come back to life. It's about as shocking as it dying in the first place. Not known for the reliability either. No, it's not even reliably broken. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm working and I'm not working. Right, so you got used to me not working. Right, I'm going to start working again. Marshall are... long-term viewers of this channel will know that I'm a Marshall guy. I love the sound of Marshall amps. I've never really been a fan of like the Fender Tweed thing, or Vox amps or anything. I'm going to say something a bit controversial now. I don't like the sound of AC30s. I like the sound of Brian May when he plays through an AC30. I love the sound of Rory Gallagher when he plays through an AC30. I just don't like the sound I get out of an AC30. It doesn't kind of work for me. That's what I mean when I say I'm not a fan of an AC30 sound. Same with Fender Tweed amps and everything. And I don't like the sound that I get out of them. Maybe I'm just missing some vital ingredient, or it just doesn't work for me. But you plug into a Marshall and it's like coming home. It's like, oh yes, this is nice. This is me. And the best Marshall sound I've ever had is out of the Blue Guitar Amp 1 on the Vintage channel. That's just it's like it's like a hot rodded plexi. It's got a real kind of Marshall-y kind of. the classic channel's nice if you like the JCM 800 thing, but the vintage channel is just like a plexi that's turned up to 11. It's got the Nigel Tufnell setting on it. Yeah, Silent Hybrids saying Dougal is quiet tonight. He is indeed. He's Dougal has he has this kind of little character trait where we call it the poo zoomy. Any dog owner will know of the phenomenon of the zoomy. It's when the dog just goes absolutely mental and runs like an Olympic sprinter, like Linford Christie, round and round and round, in round the backyard, in the house, up the stairs, round all the rooms, and then down, and just keeps doing that. Okay, Dougal does that whenever he's had a poo, basically. And right before the live stream, about 4:10, he tried to go out in the backyard, and he squatted down and delivered the goods. And then did an epic zoomy, and then it was just like do you remember those toys you had when you were a kid where you used to press the like a little animal, and they were on like a thing. You press the button on the bottom, and the bones would all kind of turn off. But after about 5 circuits of the zoomy, he just did that and went to sleep. And that's a thing with him. He likes to go and, as I say, deliver the goods, and then run around like a maniac, and then go to sleep. And that's where he was when I came upstairs to do the live stream. So weight off his mind, indeed. Cats do it too, apparently, says Dr. Gomez. Ian Clark saying mine does the poo dance before the event. Yeah, this is it. They all have their own personalities. That could be a name, couldn't it? Let me put that on the list. Actually, the poo zoomies. It's on the list, so it's officially going in the poll. Let's have a look, see what else we got. Oh, dear me, it's gone quick tonight. 53 minutes in. Jimmy James is saying, I just bought the new Boss IR2 amp Campsim pedal. That's one thing I am very, 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 very curious about. The Zoomies says, let's just put the, and then ditto underneath that one. Yeah, I am very curious about that Boss IR2. When any new product like that comes out, there's always a lot of hype, and every YouTuber that got sent one for free is always saying it's absolutely fantastic, and I love it, and it's great, and it's a game changer. But it's been out long enough now that I've seen a few sort of independent reviews of people who've actually been out and bought them, and they're all saying the same thing as well. So, I am thinking about possibly grabbing one. What I'd do with it, though, I don't know, because it's like, well, obviously the thing would be like do a review and then do a comparison between it and the Blue Guitar amp, and if the Marshall still behaves itself, do maybe a 3-way comparison. So there's some mileage in it, I suppose, for getting a bunch of videos out about it. What are you saying there, Silent Hybrid? Tell us, is that jet review, is the guitar solid? Yes, it is, mate. It's not a semi-hollow. Half close your eyes. It looks a lot like a Sir Alt T, which is a semi-hollow guitar, but this is absolutely kind of, just solid. I think it's basswood, maybe, how many piece body? I don't know, probably a 3-piece body, yeah. One little bit there, big bit, and then another bit. 3-piece body. So let's have a look. Let sleeping dogs lie. Pooh Zoomer. James Hunt is saying, my Cocker Spaniel only shits in long grass. Yeah, we used to have our previous our previous incumbent here, Taylor, the border collie, he was quite a fan of that. The number of times I'd be out on the walk, on the field where I used to walk him, and maybe he'd had something that didn't agree with him, and he'd deliver the goods in the long grass, and I'd be on my phone to the missus as I'm coming home saying, open the back gate into the backyard and put a bucket of hot soapy water out there, because you don't want, because it would basically he'd had what you could describe in human form as a trouser accident, and you didn't want him coming in and doing that kind of bum scrape along the floor. We have got a brown carpet, but it doesn't need to be any browner. Do you know what I'm saying? A video with a Marshall cranked might be fun. The thing is, that's you can. I used to use it cranked pretty much all the time. I mean, it's still got the settings. I'm looking over there at where it's on the table over there. That I used to pretty much use the classic gain channel all the time, which is like a plexi kind of channel. Then there's the ultra gain channel, which is more like a JCM 900. Higher gain, but I used to use the classic gain channel all the time, and just run the new X-Horseman into that. And the classic gain channel was always dimed all the time, cranked, and that's like the gain and volume for that channel. It's just like flat out all the time, but it's a 1 watt amp, so you can get away with doing that. David Evans, John, have you seen the new IK multimedia box for room correction for monitor speakers? I haven't, mate. I haven't. It might be a little bit above my pay grade, to be honest with you, something like that. It's, as I say, the thing that Glenn Fricker goes on about all the time is like bass traps in the corners and I've sort of got those naturally anyway, because there's, all of the corners in this room are, kind of chamfered off anyway, apart from that one over there. But there's soft furnishings. There's a workbench over there that kind of stops the kind of having like a bass kind of cancellation there. So basically, I'm happy with what I've with the monitoring situation I've got, and it works, and it's just I ain't going to fix it, basically. Mark Gowans, thank you so much, mate. That's very generous of you. I saw an interview with Brian May once, and he said he plugged his guitar into a treble booster, then into the box, because that's what Rory did. So maybe you should try this. It's a valid point, mate. Valid point. So, yeah, maybe I should. It's been a long time since I've had access to an AC30, and maybe I should get one in here and mic it up. And again, though, it's cranking it in here, then that's going to be a challenge, without annoying the Noise Abatement Society. Anyway, chaps, I see that a few people are already hitting the exit. So, and I'm pretty much at the end of my beer. So I'm going to wrap things up there. Thank you once again, each and every one of you, for turning up and watching a fat, bald northern lad talk absolute cobblers for an hour. It's been a blast. And as I say every week, I'll keep on doing it till you get sick of me. But for now, time, gentlemen, please.